Say you are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, Roger, you live at the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage, SmackDown. Hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. Why?
Because they are the best tag team in the world today! Woo!
George.
Wrestling with Savage.
George, I think George just tried his resume for Tony Khan. I don't know for George. Huh?
With Savage! But of course.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, Roger, you live at the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage, SmackDown. Hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. Why?
I'm trying to give these two W's.
Welcome to Wrestling with Savage. We're here, we're live, it's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for some Monday Night Raw talk with Savage, and we're here with Jay and Anthony, and I want to welcome the newest cast member of Wrestling with Savage. He's going to be joining us for Raw talk. Lewis, how you doing, brother? What's going on?
Nothing much, guys. Happy to be here. Happy to have some fun. Let's talk some wrestling, you know? It's all that matters.
Absolutely. We want to welcome you to the show, though, and we're going to go right to you real quick. I want to know, how did you become a wrestling fan? Tell me your story. What's your story? What age was it? What show was it?
So, probably first, second grade. I'm 23 years old right now. So, first, second grade, we're looking at like 2007. Everyone in my class is a wrestling fan. It's like uncool to not be a wrestling fan. So I'm like, alright, cool, I guess I'll turn this on. And the first match I ever saw was Chris Masters and Matt Hardy.
Wow.
But, now, back then it was like, okay, whatever, but now I look back on it, I'm like, these are two, solid performers. And I just got hooked.
This is going to be very interesting because you're a young fan. I thought you were older than 23. You're 23, huh?
23.
Must be the beard. So let me ask you, who's your favorite wrestler of all time right now at this moment?
I always have two answers. My two answers are Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles.
Okay. And who's your favorite wrestler in the world today? Would that be AJ Styles, I'm assuming, because he's still going?
Yeah,
Okay.
AJ.
All right, and I'm going to give you another hot question. Who do you think's winning the Royal Rumble 2023?
I think it's Cody. I think they're waiting for Cody to come back. I think, he's gonna win, and they're gonna give him that push that he should have gotten 6 months ago before he got hurt.
Okay.
I probably planned to get.
I'm with you right there. I agree with that, man. And I want to just give you a quick breakdown of what Lewis does. Basically, guy gets to work with all the wrestlers in the world. They always come through to his location at the Wrestling Universe, which, by the way, any member of Busted Open Nation or Savage City can now go in there, just say Busted Open. You'll get 10% off if Jack is there, if Lewis is there. I'm not sure if he talked to you about it yet, but the 10% discount's coming up for all the Busted Open members. So what's it like working with all these superstars, man? And give me your 1, 2, 3 favorite maybe experiences you've ever had with a professional wrestler so far in your illustrious career.
So I would say maybe 75% of the time, every autograph signing we have is great. Getting to work with people that you watch on TV, getting to work with legends. Everyone's so easy to work with. Everyone's so fun because at the end of the day, we all love wrestling. So whether I'm talking to a Sergeant Slaughter or I'm talking to a Claudio Castagnoli, we all love wrestling, and we all have that solid,
Passion.
core thing we all love. You know?
Yeah.
So it's an easy conversation.
Okay. Do you have a 1 or 2? Who was your favorite signing?
So in one signing, I learned who my favorite wrestler was, and I learned who my least favorite wrestler was. So we had an ECW day in our Long Beach store. It was Jerry Lynn, Sandman, C.W. Anderson, and the Baldies, along with H.C. Loke.
Okay,
So
nice.
it's like Carnage Crew, the Baldies kind of deal. And I picked up Jerry Lynn from the airport, and he could not have been the nicest guy ever. to the point where we went out to breakfast, we went to a diner, and I'm like, I have to pay for this man's meal. Because he genuinely feels like he means nothing to the wrestling business. And I'm like, you're in like 3 Hall of Fames, you're a former, Ring of Honor champion, former ECW champion, but to him that means nothing. Like, he's just like, I'm an average guy. And I'm like, for somebody to be that humble, I'm like, you're my favorite wrestler of all time.
That's crazy, man. I love Jerry Lynn, too. He's in my list of maybe top 10 matches of all time. If I had to sit here and really give you my top 10 matches of all time, I'm not going to tell you what number it's at, but Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn, whichever match it was, it doesn't matter. They were all on that same level at that time. They were all next level. So for him to think he's, just an average Joe, he's far beyond an average Joe. That's for fucking sure. My God. All right, we had a lot of wrestling news. Let's move on real quick. We're going to do a little quick wrestling news. Friday night's episode of AEW Rampage on TNT only pulled in 361,000 viewers, one of the lowest ratings it's had in a long time. SmackDown staying strong with over 2 million. Sami Zayn went on to pin Sheamus. Bray Wyatt cut a promo. Emma loses to Shayna Baszler. Kofi loses to Gunther. Braun Strowman comes out, makes it clear he's going to be the one that's going to probably take on Gunther for that IC title at WrestleMania, maybe Royal Rumble. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Damage Control promo. This brought out Liv Morgan, who found herself on the receiving end of a 3-on-1 beatdown before Tegan Knox, or I'm sure Tegan Knox, I might be saying it wrong, makes her debut back on SmackDown. And then Ricochet defeats Santos Escobar in what was an actual banger. I did watch the match. I did like the match. Jay or anybody? Lewis, do you watch SmackDown on the regular?
I didn't get to catch this week's SmackDown, unfortunately. Or what would be last week's SmackDown, unfortunately.
Yep. Jay, how about you? Did you catch SmackDown?
Listen, when you want to watch a superstar like Santos Escobar, the king of Lucha Libre, and Ricochet, the high-flying superstar, you're going to get a banger, and that's exactly what we got. Both guys could have missed their spots at certain points during the ring barrier, but they didn't. They hit everything on the money. I think everybody, including myself in the beginning of the match, took it as a sleeper. Oh, this is going to be nothing, but it turned out to be a banger. It had me hooked at every moment. Definitely thumbs up.
I knew it was a banger the second I found out that it was going to be the main event. I was like, oh, they're going to fucking kill that shit. Anthony, what did you see? Did you see SmackDown or did you miss it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Nice. What was your favorite part of the night? Did the Bray Wyatt promo do anything for you?
It was more of that main event.
That's what everybody's saying.
But I gotta just say this right now. Triple H needs to start giving us vignettes because
on SmackDown?
Tegan Knox came out to no reaction, not one bit of reaction. You have to give us vignettes up to their debut because that's what's going on with these women wrestlers. Like happened to Mia Yim.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. I mean, when you give Lacey Evans like 6 weeks of vignettes and promos, and then she comes out to a shit show return and boos and this and that, and then we flip her, and now she's trying to be a bad guy, and then we flip her again, and now apparently she's coming back, and what'd she say? She's real serious this time? She's all business or some shit? Real quick, I got to give a shout out to Christy Alley. Rest in peace, Christy Alley. Huge part of my childhood. I don't know if you guys ever watched some of her work. I'm sure you have. Lewis, do you know Christy Alley well or no?
No clue.
So here's the age gap. Now, in wrestling, we can be able to talk because you've been talking with wrestling fans forever and they inform you on the past, this and that. But as far as pop culture outside of the wrestling world, we can clearly see the difference right now. Because I know Jay knows who this is. I know Anthony knows who this is because it was our age. I'll give you a couple of movies that you should definitely watch, Lewis, in honor of Christy Alley. You're going to look up a movie called Animal House one day. It's a comedy. It's a classic comedy. It's fucking hilarious, balls to the wall. It's got like a Married with Children vibe to it. Hopefully you know what Married with Children is. Okay. And then the other one would be Look Who's Talking with John Travolta. The original Look Who's Talking. Great movie. And then, of course, if you've never watched the TV show Cheers, I'm sure you've heard of Cheers, where everybody knows your name. If you've never watched Cheers from beginning to end, hell of a fucking show to binge watch. Comedy at its finest, done right. But anyway, rest in peace to her. Let's keep it moving. William Regal, returning to the WWE imminently. And Anthony, I'll go to you first because I know you want to. Go ahead, man. You told us, right?
Yeah, I saw it coming. the minute that MJF hit him in the back of the neck on Wednesday, I knew it. I was like, they're writing him off. This is how they're doing it. I think, to me, if that's how they're writing him off, that was the greatest thing to do.
Okay.
I thought that was the best write-off I've ever watched in my entire years of watching wrestling.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good, but he's going to be behind the scenes for a long time. I don't see him coming on TV probably for a year, 2 years, maybe when his son makes his rise to the main roster, which is the main reason why I think he's there. But now I'm going to go to Lewis. Lewis, I got a question for you. Dustin Rhodes, he's supposed to be having his last year in wrestling in 2023. Do you think it should be in AEW or WWE?
I preferably think it should be in WWE because that's really where, I mean, WCW's not around. So he really made his career in WWE. But do I really think it's going to happen there? Probably not, because I don't see him getting that spotlight retirement match in WWE. I don't see them promoting him and giving him this spectacle of a retirement match that AEW, I feel like, would give him.
I mean, if you talk about superstars that emit emotion from the crowd, Goldust has to be one of those original characters that really caused the fucking ruckus when he first came onto the scene. And his name, Goldust, you would think he would have won a title. Jay, do you have any thoughts on this? Because I know you know a lot about Goldust, Mr. Dustin Rhodes, who, by the way, according to many people, they say he's put on his best work this year. I don't know if I completely agree with that. I think some people are just sucking him off. I think he's done better work in previous matches. But, yes, some of his best work is from this year. What do you have to say about all this, Jay?
I'm going to disagree. I don't think his best work was this year. I think his best work was with his brother back in 2018. That's what I think. Overall, I'm happy for the guy that he announced his retirement. He has, I say we can all say he's the first ballot Hall of Famer in WWE for sure, no doubt. But I think it's about time. I think it was about time 2 years ago. I just don't think his work is there. He's a little slow paced. The footwork is not there like it used to be. And I mean, you're over 50. I expect this, but I just feel like he's more valuable as a backstage producer aspect to get some sort of, I guess, maintain the stability of the roster back there. And he's one hell of a mentor.
I got a storyline for you. What if Goldust comes out number 28 in the Royal Rumble and Cody Rhodes has to eliminate his brother to win the Rumble? Storyline wise, you can't lie. That would be beautiful, right? Like two brothers battling it out. Goldust wants to be the champion just as bad as Cody, if not more.
I like this write-off because
with the right build-up, it would have been a good storyline. God damn it! Maybe 10 years ago, it would have been good. I agree with you. All right, let's keep it moving. Barry Windham hospitalized after suffering a heart attack. Best wishes to him. We hope he gets better. I hear that Matt Hardy wants to end the run as the Hardy Boys. He's sick of all this bullshit. He wants his brother back. Lewis, how do you feel about the Hardy Boys still wrestling in 2023 at the level that you know they're going to try to wrestle at? Are you a fan of that, or do you want them to just maybe take a break with the craziness?
I mean, I think at this point, if it's one last run, balls to the wall, just they're gonna give them that tag title run. Whoever's tag team champion at that point, give them their last run, call it a day, and look, they've had a legendary career, and that's all that matters.
Okay, now Jay, I can see the look on Jay's face. Jay,
listen, let's face it, these guys are fucking signed the fucking death contract to kill themselves on live TV. We all saw it live with the Jeff Hardy and all this shit. And let me tell you something. Going back to Savage, you asked me if I watched that Ricky Steamboat match. Yes, I did watch the Ricky Steamboat match. And I do have a stream we can watch together or not. But overall, there was a match. And it was Crowbar versus Matt Hardy. And I do not know why this guy loves to risk his body. There was a spot with a barricade they put between the post and the ring. And this guy just went on it. Matt Hardy. Over 40-year-old guy that shouldn't be doing stuff like this, but this is what the Hardys love to do. So I don't want to see them on live TV. If they're gonna go kill themselves,
okay. And Ant, how about you? What do you think about Matt Hardy? Are you a fan of Lewis's description? Let them have one more run as tag team champions. That would mean they'd have to probably beat the Acclaimed.
I would like to see them have one more run, but here's my thing. I disagree with the balls to the wall, having them go balls to the wall, because they're not young anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know,
that's true.
So
okay.
I mean, I respect the work that they did.
Everybody respects the work that they did. God,
Yeah.
man, the work they did, they stole the fucking show at WrestleMania. That's something a tag team has never fucking done and will never fucking
Jeff
do
Hardy.
ever again.
And Jeff
While Stone
Hardy stole
Cold and The Rock are in the building.
and Jeff Hardy stole the show with Darby Allin, the Dynamite, the Dynamite May 11th.
Yeah, he stole the show and took 6 years off his life. But let's keep it fucking moving to a shout out to Kevin Nash, who asked for something from his fans for the first time ever, maybe, asking them all to go subscribe to his podcast, what it's called, Click This, right? He wanted to hit 100,000 because that was his son's dream, that they would hit 100,000 and get the plaque from YouTube. He asked his fans, and the fans fucking delivered. I mean, they I don't even know. They're like 150K right now or some crazy shit. They got all the subs they need. That plaque is coming, and it's going to be placed next to his son's urn. So shout out to Kevin Nash. So sorry that you got to deal with that. I wish it could be another way. But unfortunately, life is rough. And it can't always be flowers and sunshine like the Young Rock is when they show everything like so beautiful in that show. I love the show, The Young Rock. Anybody a Young Rock fan here?
Young Rock.
Okay, the reason I'm bringing up Young Rock, and this is the last thing before we go right into Monday Night Raw, Young Rock is pissing me off this week. Okay, and the reason they're pissing me off is because they basically gave a fucking Easter egg straight up telling you that The Rock will win the Universal title. 100%. Because in the show, The Rock, when he's there and he's doing his scenes, it's in the future. It's in like 2032. Now, all the other actors that play The Rock, they're in the past. During the Attitude Era, during his football days, during his childhood. But The Rock, when he's on the screen, you're looking at 2032, okay? According to their eyes. Now, in this scene, he has to go see a powerful person that happens to be a big fan of his, and the President of the United States asked him to please go, be cool with them, because we need their coffee beans. So he goes, and, of course, this big fan has a room set up with all Rock memorabilia and WrestleFest arcade. Beautiful fucking room, by the way. Great job on that set. But in the room, there's a trophy case of all the championships The Rock has won. And they show the Blue Universal title. Now, The Rock's never won the Blue Universal title. So what does that tell me? That means, according to the show's producers, they are pretty confident that The Rock's going to win that fucking Universal title. And it might be at WrestleMania 39. Lewis, are you okay with The Rock coming back, winning the Royal Rumble, and then going on to defeat Roman Reigns for the Universal title?
I think if anybody can do it, it's going to be The Rock. He's faced Cena. He's faced every top guy. Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre. There's nobody left. If John Cena or Brock Lesnar couldn't do it, who's the next step up? It's The Rock.
Well, Cena did beat The Rock at their last confrontation at WrestleMania, which I was there live for, WrestleMania 29, where, The Rock lost to fucking Cena. That shit was fucking great.
I mean, Roman, who can beat Roman?
Who can beat Roman? According to WWE?
I think The Rock can do it, yeah. If Cena couldn't do it, Kevin Owens couldn't do it, Drew McIntyre couldn't do it, the list goes on and on. Who's the next biggest star? Rock.
And you're okay with it coming back and just having a program for 3-4 months or whatever it is?
One last run, baby.
One last run for The Rock. And Jay, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, everybody would love to see it. I don't know, man. Like I said, I think we gotta wait till the Rumble, see what the outcome is, because that's what the trigger's gonna say.
The Rumble will answer many questions. The Rumble will answer every fucking question you have about WrestleMania in one fucking night. And that's why we love the Royal Rumble. That's why we watch it the way we watch it every year, because the Rumble is literally the navigation system on the ship, and it's going to tell you exactly where it's going to take you. Now, let's move on. Monday Night Raw opens up with a video package of the Bloodline in the garage. They're arriving, and out of nowhere, Riddle going for a hit and run with his fucking scooter. Usos say we're going to get him, and his tag team partner. Like everyone in the game, we've beaten everybody. Elias then comes out the limo, asks, hey, what's going on? And we get another murder on national television. Elias has been fucking killed, apparently again. I mean, we watch wrestlers have matches where they take thousands of moves and headshots and this and that. But meanwhile, they just throw him into the steel barricade and he is done for the night. So I feel like they should have did a bigger job on him. Lewis, I'll go straight to you. What's your take on what they're doing with Elias? And, of course, what did you think about the Bloodline on Raw tonight?
I mean, I thought today with the Bloodline, they were okay. I did, like you said, I felt like it could have been stronger. There could have been a stronger attack. As for Elias, it's like I'm just confused where he's at this point. Like we keep changing him, we keep doing all these things to him, so it's like, are we gonna build him up, or are we just gonna keep him plateaued?
I mean, there's nobody more mid than Elias right now. He's actually below mid. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's off the fucking website after what I saw tonight. Jay, how about you? What are we doing with Elias, man? I mean, I know you're an Elias fan. So.
I don't even know why you ask me this question every single week. Let's not sugarcoat the shit. The guy is trash. Damn. I told you they fucked it up. They fucked it up when they brought the Ezekiel character. Once you bring a character like that and you bring this guy, you're not going to get over. And he's not getting over. I told you I love the entrance in the back. I love the lights. I know he could sing. I know he could get the crowd. They don't give it to him. They don't give him the time of need. They're not giving him nothing. And what we've seen in the ring is just not impressive. And this is why we saw him off TV. I think we're going to see him off for a while.
I disagree with you that he's trash, but I don't disagree that what they're doing with him is fucking trash, and they don't give him the proper opportunity. You know, they don't give him the proper opportunity to display his talents.
Listen, if we did,
they probably never will.
We'll be good. If we cut him off, we'll be good.
Well, anyway, listen. There's no room in the Shark Tank right now. That's the problem. There's no room in the Shark Tank. There's some big sharks in there right now, and I can't look at Elias as somebody who's going to beat Roman or take on Bray Wyatt or take on Kevin Owens or take on Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? I can't see him realistically beating any of those guys. I can't even see him beating Austin Theory at this fucking point, as a matter of fact. But let's keep it moving. Now we got the Bloodline, you know. Washington, D.C., the Bloodline is now in your city, but we got some bad news tonight. The match that was supposed to go down is now canceled because the Enforcer Solo took care of Elias in the parking lot. Jimmy, in my opinion, actually cut a really solid promo that was interrupted by Sammy with Samoa. He was trying to hype up, you know, Jimmy, which Jimmy gave him like a look, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? That wasn't Usi, what Sammy did right there. But then Sammy would go on and show his master craftsmanship and his job, which is to be an entertainer. Riddle was trying to talk. Sammy wants his dog to hold on. Sammy says he's a certified usologist, and only he can tell Riddle what is Usi and isn't Usi. He says Solo is Usi. Fans chant Usi along with him. The Usos being the longest tag team in history, tag team champions in history, that's Usi. And, you know, he says, you coming out here running your mouth thinking that you ever had a chance of beating the Bloodline, that is not Usi. In my opinion, Sammy actually did very well on this because he tried something new, and he actually got the crowd to participate, and you heard it in a loud way. And Riddle says he found a new tag team partner. Out comes Kevin Owens. We're going to get a matchup now, and then we're going to go straight to Lewis to see what he thought about the match. Actually, you know what? We'll go straight to Ant, because Ant looks like he's got a lot to say. And then we're going to go to Lewis. I can see Ant's got something bottled up over there. But this match is quick. I'm not going to kill a lot of time. Hour 1 of Raw is definitely not commercial-free tonight. Usos pick up the win, looking very strong with the 1D on Riddle. After the match, they beat down on Riddle some more. KO comes in with a save, but he chases off the Usos. And then Solo continues to abuse Riddle, and Graves would say possibly causing long-term damage. Solo showing us how aggressive and ruthless he can be, wrapping the steel chair around hurt Riddle's throat, and we get the running hip attack on the ropes, and Riddle has to be carried out on a stretcher. Maybe this is the end of Randy Orton Riddle, and maybe this is going to become the rebirth of Matthew Riddle, which I can see this setting up a match at Mania maybe long term, Solo versus Riddle, in a nice big marquee matchup, and I'm all here for it. I'd like to see that, as long as Riddle comes back as himself and not this fucking Randy Orton mark. And the floor is yours. What'd you think of the match?
Okay. If this is not an indication that this is a beginning of the end for Sammy, and gonna start, and then it's gonna start being the beginning for Kevin and Sammy, I don't know what the hell you guys are watching. because by just hearing that with Owens and Riddle, he's still involved. He's still involved in shit that's going on with Sammy.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. This is definitely going to lead to that. Lewis, what'd you see tonight? What do you think about this? How long do you think Riddle's going to be off TV?
Riddle off TV, maybe a month or two, just to kind of get people to just not think about him for a little bit, come back. Obviously, I agree. Maybe Solo Sikoa might be the match. I agree. This is the beginning of. I mean, we saw it a couple weeks ago, but this is the start of the Kevin and Sammy. You know, Sammy acts like he doesn't want to be with Kevin Owens, but he really wants to be with Kevin Owens, and I think that this will eventually, they'll come together, and I think they're the ones that are to take the titles off the Usos.
I can definitely see it. Jay, what do you see?
Usi.
It's Uzi. Jay's fucking muted, which is definitely not Uzi.
Very interesting things you guys say, but I'm gonna tell you what I saw. I saw repetitive. That's right. I saw the same thing I always see every week, every SmackDown, every Raw. I saw Sami Zayn try to get us over with a new word called bet.
Yeah, bet.
You know what? You know what that did for me? Absolutely nothing. It fell flat. You know why? Because you're just trying to throw it in my face just like you're throwing Uzi every freaking time I see you. It's getting kind of killed for me, guys. I don't know about y'all. But, hold on. I don't think this is the beginning of you and Lewis's theory about the end of the Usos or anything. I just think the wheels are still being in motion. The seeds are planted, but it's just repetitiveness. We hear this every single. We even heard this past Friday on SmackDown. So I'm getting kind of bored of it.
But this is what the Usos are doing now. The Bloodline, you got to see it. What the Bloodline is doing is they're sucking Sammy in.
No, I get that. But I think we could use new creative words instead of Uzi every freaking time.
I agree. I do agree.
I think it's the cringe factor. I think he wants it to be cringe. He wants it, like when he uses bet. It's something that somebody my age uses. He's trying to be hip, but he's trying to do it in like a weird way. He's like that 50-year-old teacher that tries to say stuff that kids are saying now and just looks like an idiot. That's what I think he's trying to go for.
I agree with you. I agree with a lot of things that everybody's saying, but at the end of the day, they made Solo tonight. They tried their best to make him look ice cold. You heard the word enforcer used to describe him, and they were trying to make all the Riddle fans out there who are kids, like the kids that are like 10 and under, they were trying to make Riddle fans cry tonight. They were trying to make Riddle fans feel something tonight. And Lewis makes a good point. If he's off TV for 1 month, 2 months, no one's thinking about him. It makes his return a nice surprise, impactful, and then could help set up a program with Solo Sikoa. Because at the end of the day, you got to think, WrestleMania, Roman's going to have his match. The Usos are going to have their match. Solo needs to have a match, right? He's got to be involved, and he should be in a marquee match since you're making him such profound part of the bloodline. You know what I mean? He's coming in and repping the bloodline, and in my opinion, he looks stronger than Roman half the time. So you gotta do something special for him, man. We're gonna keep it moving though. Asuka versus Bayley versus Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match coming up shortly. Ripley has a promo, and in my opinion, this might have been her best promo of her career. Absolutely fucking murdered it from beginning to end. Her movement, her body language, that high five she did with the jump, whispering to Dom. Ripley says, Bayley and Asuka are credible. They've both been champs. They're both very good at what they do. But you know what they are not? They are not real bloody Ripley. When I'm done with them tonight and move on to Bianca, when I'm done with Bianca, the whole women's locker room is going to be calling me mommy. She whispers to Dom. Ripley fucking murdered this segment. I loved it. Anybody have a thought on this? Lewis, I know you're probably a Rhea Ripley fan, for sure.
I love her.
She's one of the best.
Obviously she didn't win the match, but I think that even what happened after the match made her look so strong that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
How about you, Jay? Did you think this was her best promo of her career? I thought she killed it.
Average.
Just average? Oh, I loved it. I thought it was, I mean, it didn't go along with what happened in the match, but if you take the promo for itself, just performance, live, very good promo. And you have anything to say on Rhea before we move on to the next bullshit?
I have a couple, like, two things to say.
Go for it.
One, I think Rhea Ripley is getting better and better every time we watch her. Every week that we watch her, I think she's getting better. I just want to know why the hell we're sticking Asuka in the match with Rhea Ripley and Bianca when she just tagged when she was just in a War Games match with her and on her team and in a segment with her last week.
Yeah, a little random booking there with this triple threat kind of came out of nowhere. No real storyline leading up to why the people were placed the way they were placed. And I also thought the Rhea Ripley match should have been the main event of the night, in my opinion. But, of course, Becky Lynch is a fucking superstar, right? So Becky gets the show. It is what it is. But if you're going to make Ripley lose, I'd rather have her lose to Becky. Or, you know...
or don't have her be pinned. Make her, because you could still make her look strong by not having her be pinned.
That's true. That's true. They can always do that. But now we got to move on to the JBL's Poker Invitational. We have the OC with Mia Yim, Tozawa, Alpha Academy. Dom is there. Shelton Benjamin's there. Dana Brooks there. Corbin's there. JBL says, welcome. This will be as big as WrestleMania. Tozawa, no one likes you, but poker is a gentleman's game. Gargano and Dexter Loomis crash the game. They show up with a bunch of cash. JBL welcomes them in. Okay, so this looked like a couple of things. This was like the APA with the 24/7 title attached to it, / we don't know what the fuck to do with any of these motherfuckers. All rolled up into one big fucking package. Lewis, are you a fan of the JBL Poker what is it? Invitational. Oh.
I thought it was, all right, who's around backstage today? Let's just all throw them in a room, have them act as extras. You know, obviously, you got the matches that you got out of it on Raw tonight, but I thought it was just a random clusterfuck of people just, you know. I don't think it really continued anything.
Jay, how about you? Any comments on this, or you want to save it for later in the night? Because this isn't over by a long shot. We're going to see this bullshit play out at least 3 or 4 more fucking times. So if you want, you can save it.
I'm going to say one thing. This is a complete ripoff of Duke Hudson's gimmick. That's it.
Okay. All right. For me, I think this could... I like the idea, but it should be done on a high level. It should be done in a way where you can see the whole room. A poker table is a round table, meaning it all has chairs all the way going around. Don't put the camera in a position that cuts off 2 or 3 of the chairs that is supposed to have a player in it. Put the fucking camera in the corner of the room, have another camera walking around for the zooms, and make it look like a legitimate poker game with rosters fucking stacked. Have the boys in there playing fucking cards on one table. You have the girls playing on another table, or tag teams on one table, champions at another table. Have, you know, a little more, not just a fucking screenshot of a logo you just made 4 minutes ago and then you put it up on the TV of JBL's Poker Invitational. Make it seem a little more legitimate. Like, you know, this is a mafia run kind of game. You know, like, give it like a Sopranos kind of feel. And this would have been a great way to debut Tony D'Angelo on Raw. JBL brings up Tony D. Tony, I need you to run my poker game over. He's not coming to wrestle. He's just coming to run the fucking game. Am I wrong?
No. It would have made that whole segment so much better, but I'm already so sick of fucking JBL and this Corbin bullshit. I'm already sick of it. It's so fucking dumb.
Well, I love Corbin, man. So I mean, I give him so much pass on this shit.
I want to see the old school NXT Corbin.
I wouldn't mind seeing that either, but I don't want to see Corbin involved with the cast of the 24/7.
That's what I'm saying. He could be on. I'm going to say this right now, and I may shoot myself in the foot, but I would love to see fucking Corbin go against Reigns again, not for a title, just to have a feud with him or because that guy is great on his own.
No,
He does not
100%.
need JBL.
100%. I don't understand the pairing. I don't get it. I told everybody this is setting up a match between maybe JBL versus. JBL is probably a new guy. I think that's what's going to happen. Corbin and JBL are going to have a falling out, right? And then Corbin's going to go off on his own and become a babyface because everybody hates JBL. JBL is like a mega heel. And then JBL says, I got someone who's going to whoop your ass. And then we set up a program. Corbin hopefully goes over at Mania and becomes a babyface. I don't know.
Tony D.
Oh.
Gotta be him.
Tony D, huh? Tony D coming to Mania to take an L. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But now we're going to get into a match, triple threat. The winner moves on to be the number one. They move on to compete for the number one contender spot for the Raw Women's Championship. Now we're going to see Bayley, Asuka, and Ripley. Out comes Becky Lynch, comes out of the crowd again to talk more shit to Bayley. Becky says, it's been 3 years since we had a one-on-one. Bayley tells Becky, none of that matters. You're interrupting my moments. You're interrupting my matches, thinking you could do whatever you want. You know, the spotlight's always got to be about you, right, Becky? Fans cheer. Bayley says Becky cares about no one, but I care about the WWE. Bayley is looking out for the future, the bigger picture, you idiots. Bayley and Ripley now working together against Asuka for a moment, but Asuka quickly fights back, lands actual nice kick on the side of the head of Rhea Ripley. Asuka was killing it with some of the kicks tonight on Ripley's head. Ripley and Bayley trading big shots. Asuka with a drop kick off the top rope, cover on both ladies, kick out from both. Ripley takes a crazy bump on the outside, setting up Bayley to hit the Rose Plant on Asuka. Picks up the 1, 2, 3, and then we see Ripley go on to attack Asuka. And there you go. We got a winner. Bayley's your winner. She's moving on. Lewis, what did you think of this booking? Were you surprised? I thought Ripley was taking it, but you kind of had to figure it was going to be Bayley after you saw. Once I saw Becky come out, I was like, oh, Bayley's winning this fucking match, isn't she?
The problem is I just don't want to see her and Bianca again. It's like we just saw that. It's like, are you going to give that to us again? Like, obviously we do have the factor of Alexa, but I don't want to see the match again. We just saw it. I think Rhea is somebody more interesting, somebody who's relevant. I think that is just a new breath of fresh air, and I hope eventually she gets her shot after whatever this ends up being.
I wouldn't worry about that. Rhea Ripley's going to go on to have an illustrious career, maybe even a better career than Charlotte Flair. When it's all said and done, Rhea Ripley may go down as the greatest pound-for-pound female wrestler we've ever seen. And as far as the booking goes, I got bad news for you. I know you don't want to see it, but you're going to see it. Bayley is going to get gold, and the reason you're going to see it is because I never thought Damage Control was going to be a two-time women's tag team champions. Damage Control are the tag team champions right now. So to make that little trio complete with gold, they're going to put the strap on fucking Bayley because Bianca's not selling t-shirts anymore, unfortunately. Jay, what do you think?
I'm going to tell you this. I love matches with botches, and this was the first of many tonight. You talk about Asta's kicks, so-called.
She had some good kicks, don't lie. There was like some roundhouse kicks. There was two.
There was a spin roundhouse that missed completely.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one that landed.
I'm talking about Asuka falling on her ass, trying to just jump on Bayley's back. I think you guys are missing the bigger picture. I think you guys forgot about last week. Let me refresh y'all. Last week, the seeds have been planted for Bliss and Belair. Belair was having a promo. Bliss made a face staring into space. There's going to be some program with them. I'm going with Bliss the whole 9 next week. I think if you guys notice, the chemistry between Bliss and Bayley is it's impeccable. I don't know if you guys didn't see that.
Well, I got bad news for you. Bliss is definitely going to cause Bianca to lose that championship. That's what I think is going to happen. That's how Bayley's going to win. I think Alexa is going to turn heel that night where Bayley's fighting Bianca, and she's going to cost Bianca the championship. It's just the way it goes.
Whatever it may be, I'm just going to say one last thing. Whatever it may be, I'm just going to think that you really have to book Bliss with top stars like Bayley, like a Bex, like a Belair, because she will have great matches, and the spots they were having were fucking great.
Okay, how about you, Ann? What'd you think of this triple threat match and the outcome?
Okay, who took the pin? Who got pinned?
I believe it was Asuka taking the Rose Plant.
Okay.
Wasn't Rhea
I'm gonna
getting
tell you
pinned.
something. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Rhea took a nasty bump. I'll just say that. That was a nasty bump before Alexa took the.
I'm gonna say this.
Not Alexa. I'm
going
sorry.
to say this. I see a match coming between Rhea Ripley and Bayley for the title shot, because Ripley's thing is going to be, I never got pinned. I didn't take the pinfall.
Maybe.
I
So
don't think she's going to be involved.
I don't think she's going to be involved in all of it. They're moving on to bigger and better things. She's going to be involved severely in a storyline with Dom and his whatever the fuck's going to happen with him.
But they have to go off of the history. Watch Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley's NXT match.
I've seen it. I understand that. Rhea's going to have her time, but I don't know if it's going to be this year, unfortunately, or even the beginning of next year. It could be next year, but not till after Mania. And why? Because a couple of reasons. A, they have to suck off Charlotte Flair. B, they have to suck off Ronda Rousey. And C, they have to suck off Becky Lynch. And in order for all of them to get sucked off, someone's got to get fucked. That's the business, my friends. That's the business, my friends. Bianca, ever since Becky Lynch has come back to TV, Bianca's t-shirt sales have dropped by like 97%. I'm just making that up, but I'm pretty sure it's fucking real. I believe it. I don't see Bianca t-shirts on TV, but I see all the Beck shirts and signs. I see them.
But I have a funny feeling that Rhea Ripley's going to come back. She's going to come into the picture and try to take that title shot from Bayley.
It's a possibility, man. Listen, Raw's been unpredictable at times, and for that, I'll say you never know what's going to happen or who's going to get what. Plus, the fact that someone could just get hurt, and all of a sudden they need someone else to step up. You never know what's going to happen on any of these fucking shows. But now let's go on to my favorite wrestler in the world today, wrestling today. My favorite wrestler in the world today. Every time he laces up his boots, I could do nothing but stand and shout and scream and sing with the fans and serenade the man, because Seth fucking Rollins is the best fucking wrestler in the fucking world today. And I'm going to say it again. Seth Rollins is the best fucking wrestler in the fucking world today. He's better than Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is nothing but the second best member of the Shield. I will meet that man one day, and that's going to be exactly what I tell him. You killed it, bro. You had a great run. You did your thing. But at the end of the day, whether it's today or in 20 years, you will never, ever be anything more to me than the second best member of the Shield. That's just the way it is. I'm going to say that right now. Seth Rollins is more entertaining in his fucking sleep than Roman Reigns is riding a fucking snowmobile on cocaine running over bears. It wouldn't even be as good as what Seth Rollins does, okay? And I don't know why. I've seen the trailer for Cocaine Bear, and I gotta watch that movie. You guys seen the trailer for this movie? Cocaine Bear?
The hell is that?
It's based on a true story of a bear who ate a whole fucking kilo of cocaine and went on a murderous killing spree. And it's fucking awesome. And I gotta watch it.
Jesus Christ.
It's based on a true story. The Colombians were running away from the FBI. They dumped a whole fucking crate of cocaine off their plane so they wouldn't get caught. The cocaine went in the forest, and the bear found it, ate the fucking kilo, and the whole little village, whatever. Some shit went down. Let's just say that. Some shit went down, all right? Do you need to know more? Bear takes cocaine. You're not watching it? You're watching it. You're watching it.
Okay.
But yeah, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring next week. Rollins versus Lashley for the #1 contender spot for the United States Championship. Seth has some breaking news for DC. Rollins says, "You all look like you were having fun singing my song." And they start singing it again because that's how over he is. Bobby Lashley now comes out. "I'm here, Seth. What would you like to tell me?" Seth wants to know if Bobby is scared of Brock Lesnar. Seth says, "Okay, so you're not scared of him. Maybe you must just be jealous of Brock Lesnar. You know, he is a bigger star than you. He's had the career you wished you had. You know, he's really trying his best to get under the skin of Bob." Bob says this is not about Brock. It's about that U.S. Championship, Bob. Bob needs to relax. He says, Seth goes on to say, we know the U.S. Championship won't fill the void of you not beating Brock. Bobby and Seth now going at it in the ring. And finally, Bobby can't take it anymore. Bob has to snap. Officials come out to break this up. Bobby actually goes on to spear the producer, Pete Williams, who took the spear very well. He literally took the spear better than 80% of the roster in the back would have. Rollins dodges out of the way. The spear was meant for him, but the producer takes it. Okay. What do we think about this, Lewis? Are you hyped to see Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley? How do you think it's going to play out?
I think Seth does such a great job at anything he does. If it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't be interested in this. But Seth just makes me want to, just gravitate towards him because he's so good on the mic. He's really good at getting under people's skin, and I'm excited.
I think they're going to actually have a killer match. Jay, how about you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only one word. Unnecessary. I don't think this was necessary at all tonight. I don't think it was necessary for him to come out. I found the whole Brock Lesnar thing just threw me off completely. I wasn't expecting it to drag longer than a minute. It's kind of telling me he's going to come back real soon, possibly match with Lashley at the Rumble. But I don't know. I just thought it was unnecessary. I thought he didn't need to say all this. I didn't think he even needed to come out tonight.
Well, I would have loved tonight if Brock Lesnar would have came out during the middle of this whole thing and just started German suplexing the officials, Bobby, Seth, fucking Corey Graves, Vic, Joseph, or Patrick, whatever the fuck that other kid's name is. Fucking, there you go. Take him and put him through a fucking arena. Throw him through the building. I don't give a fuck. Throw him off the rafters. Brock Lesnar can come back whenever he wants. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's Teflon. He'll be another 5-time champion probably by the time it's said and done. It's fucking Brock Lesnar, man. I love Brock. But, yeah, they did bring his name up a lot, so you got to think that they're going to be going there with that. Byron Saxton tries to get a word with Austin Theory. Theory says that he saw the past out there. 2 former champs fighting over scraps who are oblivious to the fact that the business has passed them by. Because I am the now and the forever. It's just the beginning. Mustafa Ali has to interrupt, says you really like writing checks you can't cash in. Theory says you're annoying. All you do is whine and get beat down. Why don't you just quit? Ali has to fight for a chance, he says. He says, you know what? You can put me down, but I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to blah, 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 and I'm going to be the U.S. champ. Theory says, fine, you want a shot? Fine, go get ready. But after tonight, I never want to hear the word opportunity come out of your mouth again. Solid promo from Theory. Absolute shit from Ali. Led to him getting murdered again. In this promo, everything Ali said, I didn't believe one word. Everything Theory said, I believed. Lewis,
I don't know how much video evidence we have to watch of Ali just suck completely. Every single time this guy's on TV, just kills it. He's a buzzkill.
He turned into a jobber.
Great promo by Theory. Solid, great promo by Theory.
Yeah, Theory killed it. Lewis, what do you think? What do you see in the future for Theory, and what do you see in the future for Ali?
In the future for Theory, I always tell people I view Theory as a young Randy Orton.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly what I say.
Skin, he wants you to hate him, and this is the beginning. This is we're looking at like evolution Randy. It's a build up, and he's gonna be world champion one day. That's not a question.
100%.
As for Ali, it's just, he's never gonna go anywhere.
NXT.
Every time he's repacked, I mean, that's probably the only way he'll get booked in a main event spot. It's just he'll change his character, he'll repackage himself, but it will never have the hype.
Might be the same situation we're having with Elias right now, where it's just not going to live up to what they're expecting is going to happen. They're not going to get him over to the fans. But yeah, you're right. Theory is the future. He's the now. He's everything. He will be a champion. Theory's undeniable. And I said the same exact thing. I've said it on this show multiple times. He reminds me exactly of a young Randy Orton. And he is the new legend killer. Before he becomes world champion, you better believe he will retire a lot of fucking people. He's going to be that guy now. And I'm all here for it. I fucking love it. Ant, you got anything to say about Theory and Mustafa Ali? I think you like Mustafa Ali. You want to see him do better, but...
No.
He's like, no.
No. Mustafa, I'm getting so sick and tired of seeing the same shit. Him walking into a segment and him getting his ass beat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Theory?
That's all we've seen, yeah. Time and time again.
Needs to be in a new goddamn feud. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing this bullshit feud with fucking Lashley and Rollins. I want to see. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I want to see Gargano in there. Put Gargano in a feud with Rollins. Do you know how many bangers those guys could fucking have with each other?
Well, that would be nice if fucking Gargano wasn't in the 24/7 cast right now.
I think this is just a bigger picture. I think working with Rollins, we all know Rollins is going to win. Working with Rollins is definitely going to prepare him to be a champion next year. I think this is why they're booking it. It's a prep.
Okay. I mean, maybe. We're going to get more.
They have that history.
They have more than history. They have everything there, but what they're going to do with it is another question. And we're going to find out more about the JBL Poker Invitational as soon as we're back right here on Wrestling with Savage.
Are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, brought to you live by the champ. Her last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Because they are the best tag team in the world today.
George. I think George just tried his resume for Tony Khan. I don't know for George.
We're savage!
Of course.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, brought to you live by the champ. Her last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
I'm trying to give these two W's.
I'm going to see what he has there for sale. And guys, we're back. Welcome back to Wrestling with Savage. And before we get into the rest of the night, we're going to be, most of us, I'm pretty sure I'm going, Anthony's going, Lewis confirmed he's going. Jay, are you coming through? Did you get your figures?
May not be able to make.
Well, if you can't make it, everybody else who's watching, if you can, you just need 2 brand new figures. This Thursday night, Create a Pro, Lynbrook, New York. Just look them up, createprowrestling.com. You can get all the information there. They're going to be having their annual toy drive. They have a hell of a stacked card. Matt Cardona is going to be there. Fandango is going to be there. You're going to have all the stars from Create a Pro, including Vargas, the Sweeper, who you've seen on this show. A few months ago, he joined us on the show for an episode, which was awesome. Best in the World's going to be there. There's going to be a lot of great matches that night. Specifically, I'm really excited to see Matt Cardona and meet him and get some pictures, get some autographs. So if you're in the area, make sure you bring some toys down. Just need 2 brand new toys, and you get in for free. So if you are in the area or near Lynbrook, you should definitely make the drive. We have a preview on Raw now of the upcoming Ric Flair documentary, which is called Woo! Looks pretty good, actually. I'll be watching it. You guys are going to be watching it?
Probably the same one I always see all the time. It's always the same story.
Well, it looks like he's in the hospital a lot more in this one, but
I hope they talk about the last match, how bad it was.
I don't think they're going to be discussing the last match at all. But I'm going to be checking it out anyway. I'm a Ric Flair fan. Now we go back to the JBL Poker Invitational. Dexter is kicking everyone's ass. Tozawa is winning at his table. Dom tries to steal Tozawa's chips. Dom says this is his show, and whatever he wants, he gets. Tozawa then goes on to say that Dom is the problem at this whole little poker thing here. And then Dom goes on to say, you're almost as short as my deadbeat dad. JBL says, I'm sure he is as much of a deadbeat as your dad. This sets up a match between Dom and Tozawa. That line from JBL was good, though. I appreciated that. Corbin thinks Dexter is a cheater. And after he wins his hand with a full house, Dexter pulls out the axe, and Corbin changes his tune, saying, okay, he's legit. He says, He's legit. Don't worry about it. I'm not trying to get murdered right now by Dexter Lumis. This whole thing smelt like the 24/7 segments that we've been getting for so long. I'm just not a fan of it the way it was done. It should have been classier. I already mentioned that. Anybody else have anything to chime in on this bullshit?
Yes.
Go for it.
I think it tells us a lot. I think just watching all this, you guys know where everybody is placed, but I'm more disappointed. I think the direction has changed for Johnny Gargano. He came in as a top star when he made his return, and he fought some elite greats, and now he's just placed with Dexter Lumis, and we do not know what. The whole Miz thing, we get it. It's over. And he's still with Lumis.
Well, speaking of the Miz tried to get in that poker game, and JBL tried to welcome him back, but
I just think I'm just gonna make it short and sweet. Is my last thing I'll say. I just think it's sad that you have Dexter Lumis, Johnny Gargano, some top stars you could use, and you're underutilizing. It's sad.
I agree. That's why I wasn't a fan of seeing even AJ Styles. What business does AJ Styles having getting thrown in this whole 24/7 fiasco bullshit? And the reason I call it 24/7 is because Tozawa's in it, Dana Brooke's in it, and it's being filmed like it's a fucking parody joke. Nothing being taken serious. Anyway, let's move on. Match United States Championship. Ali gets his shot against Austin Theory. Nice slingshot by Theory into the ring post on Ali to take us to break. Please, someone tell me someone that sells better than Austin Theory this entire year. Like, all the bumps he's taken, the way he takes his moves. I mean, does anybody sell better? No, not anymore. I would have said maybe 5 years ago, not anymore. There's no way. Theory is the best seller in the business right now. And speaking of Ziggler does come out, causes the DQ. Theory is still your champ. Ali's pissed off at Ziggler. Now we see Theory coming in from behind, attacks Ziggler, dumps Ali into the ring post, which might have been the best ring post tossed in the history of Monday Night Raw. The way that he just shoved him in that ring post and Ali sold the shit out of it. Holy fucking shit. I've never seen anyone fly into a ring post with that much velocity. In my mind. I've seen some crazy ones, but that was up there, man. Whatever. What do you guys think of all this? A-Town down on Ziggler. Theory goes off Raw looking incredible yet again. I'll go to you first, Lewis. What'd you think of the match between Ali and Theory?
I thought the match was good. I didn't like the Ziggler part. I feel like they originally were doing Ziggler was attacking him, and then they stopped doing that, and then now they're just doing it again. And I'm just like, where are we going with this? Like, is Ziggler gonna be the next guy? Like,
Next victim. That's what I would say. Next victim.
I don't understand it. I don't understand the attacks. It's not like they're having a match against each other. It's just here he has a match and Ziggler attacks him.
Well, I think this is definitely leading up to a program with Ziggler and Theory. And then what I see in the future for Theory is I see him defending and defeating John Cena at WrestleMania. That's what I'm hoping for. That's the match I want to see. I want to see Theory versus John Cena, with John Cena taking the L at the end of the night and the beginning of the Legend Killer taking place. Like, I want to see, if there's blood in any match during WrestleMania weekend, it needs to be Theory and Cena needs to get busted open hard and put this kid on the map. Yeah, put this kid on the fucking map. Do you guys like that booking?
Yeah, I don't know about Cena.
No. Well, the other rumor is
I like it.
The other rumor is that I hear that Cena might be taking on Stone Cold. That's the other rumor that's going around.
I just want to say, I honestly think you need to put Theory in there with a bigger guy. Like a bigger name superstar. Like, put him in there with a Gargano. Because those two have...
Wait a second. Hold on. Did you just say Gargano's a bigger superstar than John Cena?
I'm talking about current. He's not... John Cena's not really on TV every week. I'm talking on TV every week.
Okay.
Those two, yeah. If you were to put Gargano in a ring with Theory, that could really help elevate the both of them. you could really help elevate the both of them to be bigger. I'm not saying do the match at a WrestleMania. Not. But I honestly think that those two need to be in a ring on like a Royal Rumble. And then put Theory in a match with another bigger guy. Cena. Hell, put him in a ring with Sammy.
That's a good point you bring up about the Rumble, though. Do you guys all think that even Theory's going to be in the Rumble? Considering he's the United States champion, does he even need it?
I don't think he should be. I don't think he should be. I'm sorry, Lewis.
No, you're good.
Not unless you take the title. You're taking the title off. You're taking that United States title off of him. I don't see that. I don't see him being in the Rumble if that's not happening.
Crazy thought. You know what I could see happening in a couple of weeks? Seth Rollins maybe fighting Theory for the United States Championship, and then out comes Brock Lesnar to screw Theory over. Seth is your new United States Champion, and you set up a match between Brock Lesnar and Theory at WrestleMania. How about that one?
No. I want to see.
You're squashing.
I want to see.
Maybe what if we get a fatal four-way at WrestleMania with Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Theory, and Brock Lesnar for the United States Championship? Because it sounds like that's where it's going. Maybe I don't know. It's a weird dynamic.
Lesnar fuck the matchup. I want to see Lesnar in the Roman shit. That's where I want to. I want to see him there. I want to see him fuck Roman over.
I've been there, done that for me. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Put the title on Cody.
Well, that's going to happen, hopefully, but we're going to have to wait and see. Now we get more JBL again, now with the Miz. Miz comes back trying to join the poker game. He doesn't have any money, though. He asked JBL if he could, I'm good for it. I'm the Miz. I'm good for it. JBL's like, you owe a lot of people money. So, no. And then Miz is like, how about my Rolex? I'll give you my Rolex. JBL listens to the Rolex, says, that's a fake Rolex. Because I know that, they both move, they both tick. Get out of here with your fake Rolex. Miz leaves. He's all embarrassed. Nobody gives a shit. I don't give a shit. JBL now again. He comes out to the ring. We're going to get AJ Styles. I thought we were going to get AJ Styles versus Corbin, but instead we get a 3-on-3 match, which we'll get into in a minute. JBL snaps saying that there was not going to be any fighting in his games. And then, of course, Corbin and AJ were, shoving each other, and this sets up a match later on, which they didn't really explain it too well, but it is what it is. Dexter, Johnny, they take their winnings. Graves says he can't stand this Loomis guy. We get a Bianca promo. She says what Bayley did was impressive, but I know how to deal with Bayley, and I can beat any of them, even Rhea Ripley. We get an update on Riddle. He's been taken to the hospital. We all wish the best to the original bro. Now we move on to that match, 3-on-3, the OC in the ring with AJ Styles, Mia Yim ringside versus Corbin with Alpha Academy. And JBL on commentary, to me, is always the frosting on the cake when it comes to the whole Corbin package. That's the only thing I like about it, is that we get to hear JBL talk. He's very funny. He's good on commentary. I've never been a big fan of these random 3-on-3 matches. The OC picks up the win with the Magic Killer on Gable. Lewis, what about you? Did you even care about this match?
It's a thrown together match. It's let's get the OC on TV. Let's get these guys on TV. It doesn't do anything for me, but
Yeah, definitely not for me. Jay, you got anything on this before we move on?
I don't give a shit about it, but I'm gonna talk about what I do give a shit about. As Bianca Belair's segment, she just basically told you guys Bliss was I could see why she was a one-time champion. She's throwing a shot. I still see the program.
Okay. And you got anything to add on this, or we're gonna move on?
What I just see every week is they just throw some matches onto the card, and then they try to make something make sense, and sometimes it hasn't.
Yeah, I didn't like the way they built up this match. It went to shit real quick. There wasn't no real proper storyline. I mean, the only thing that made sense is Alpha Academy was in the fucking room. But other than that, I don't even know why they're involved in this match, and they're teaming up with Corbin. The only reason it makes any sense is because they did the stupid little segment between OC and American Alpha where they were like, shush and nerd. They kept going back and forth. Shush, nerd.
Why is Alpha Academy in this segment when they're way too goddamn good for this shit? Same with Dexter and Johnny Gargano.
You could say that about almost everybody in that fucking room, man. I mean, even Tozawa's too good for this shit. I mean, go look at Tozawa's matches in NXT. The guy put on bangers.
Look, I have a funny feeling though that 2023 though, not Nakazawa is going to be breaking out, hopefully, because Vince fucked him up horribly.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what 2023 brings for Tozawa. Now we got to look backstage at a Triple Crown champion in Alexa Bliss, who has not seen single success in over 4 years, and they made sure to mention that tonight. Saxton now with Candice LeRae, who was asked how she feels about being a marked woman. Or does she feel like a marked woman? She says, yeah, I do. Next week I take on Io Sky. Johnny then comes out, Johnny Gargano. And in my opinion, I think this was... am I wrong? Was this their first on-screen promo as husband and wife on Raw?
I think so.
I think this is the first time we've seen them on screen together on Raw. So Johnny has to cover her mouth after showing how much cash that Dexter Lumis won from the poker game, because she was about to say, oh shit. And basically Dexter won big in the poker tournament, all right? Now we're going to get a match with Dom with Judgment Day versus Tozawa. And yeah, the match was simple. It was a frog splash, 1, 2, 3, win over Tozawa. After the match, Dom continues the abuse on Tozawa. And then here comes the Street Profits to come to the aid of Tozawa. Judgment Day make their quick exit before things could escalate. I don't understand this either. This is another random, all of a sudden now Judgment Day is going to beef with Street Profits. Like, what's going on here? Does anybody even understand this?
No.
Jay, does this make any sense to you, or is just another random, they're just throwing darts at the board?
Just a setup for next week.
More TV time being wasted. Adam Pearce then warns Bob, better known as Bobby Lashley, to not make another mistake. Bobby says, so a lion attacks someone entering his domain and the lion gets punished? That's what you're telling me? Bobby has been warned to control himself. Will Bobby Lashley be able to control himself over the course of the next few weeks? I don't know. We're going to find out. Next week, we're also going to see Candice LeRae versus Io Sky. And we're going to find out who is going to take on Bayley for the #1 contender spot coming up right fucking now. We get a match. Main event time. And I can't believe that Nikki Cross is even in the main event. She's done nothing to earn this #1 contender spot, as far as storyline goes. I'm not saying she shouldn't be there. She hasn't, done things earlier in her career to warrant a shot. But it's always about what have you done for me lately. And the only thing Nikki Cross has done for me lately is put me to sleep. So why she's in this match, I guess I don't understand, but that's the way it is. Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross versus Becky Lynch. This match, in my opinion, I was like, oh, this is going to be predictable. Well, what we saw earlier in the night, it's clearly setting up a match between Bayley and Big Time Bex. Nikki Cross has not even earned a spot in this match, but Alexa back to her botch fest mania. Nikki with a horrible crossbody against Alexa with her back on the ring apron. Nikki going for a move, and she has to wait for Becky to climb the top rope. Made this shit look so obvious as well. We get the leg drop from Becky while Nikki had Alexa in a suplex position, gut wrench over the ropes. It looked terrible. Cover for Becky, kick out by Alexa. This match, in my opinion, is a complete waste of a Raw main event. I'm sorry, Nikki. It is what it is. She's going for a pile driver on Becky Lynch. Instead, Becky Lynch with a manhandle slam on the apron. Back in the ring, looking for the cover. Now Alexa, she's there. She's trying to work. Dakota, Io Sky, they're dragging Becky out of the ring. They beat her down. They put her through the announce table. She tried to fight back, but Damage Control just put her through the announce table, allowing Alexa to hit the Twist of Bliss and get the 1, 2, 3. Becky beats Bliss. Bayley beats Bianca. Becky wins the Rumble and beats Bayley at Mania for the Raw Women's title. That's what I saw in all this. Lewis, what did you think of the match? And how do you think this is all going to play out at WrestleMania?
I agree. The match was kind of just... It shouldn't have been the main event. It should have been kind of lower on the card. As for what I see, I honestly, I can't even tell right now. It's just... Everyone's kind of just doing their own weird thing.
It's just brutal. Jay, how about you?
Well, I know why you guys have a sour taste. That's just because Nikki Cross didn't belong in the match, just as Savage called it. I don't even know why she was in the match. But when you book Bliss with top stars like Big Time Bets, you're going to get great things. And they did great things in the ring, whether you guys liked it or not. They had great chemistry. I still believe that Bliss and Belair is the program you want to go with, probably to the Rumble. But this was great on both of their parts. I hated the part where Cross was just holding Bliss there, I don't know, for 5 minutes until Big Time Bex decided to do this, leg drop, but it really was a drop kick. So it was just a bad call by Gray's bad call on that. The powerbomb was the worst thing I've probably seen. I didn't know those girls even had strength. They don't. I'm surprised they even lifted that high. But it was just horrible, and just Sky falling just made me laugh out of my seat. So,
I gotta admit though, Becky did look good going through the table though. I'll give Becky that. You got a nice view. Looked pretty clean.
It was Becky and Io Sky going through the table. How about
pretty much, yeah. But that was like one of the more gentle power bombs through a table that I've seen in recent memory.
Lift her. They're struggling.
I don't know, man. Raw tonight for me was kind of hit or miss. It wasn't as good as last week's Monday Night Raw. It was watchable, but I had to struggle through some of the segments that didn't make any sense. Okay. And you know, some of the ways it was all over the place. So I can't even give it a thumbs up. Seth Rollins not wrestling, it makes a big difference on the Raw card. When Seth Rollins is wrestling a match on Raw, usually I'm going to enjoy that Raw. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Without Rollins having a match, and then of course Theory's match being so short, you know, at least if you would have said, all right, Theory, Ali, go out there, give us a 15-minute banger, and then Ziggler's going to come out. We don't even get that. We get like 4 minutes. Commercial, finishes over in 2. It's just, a lot of it didn't hit me the right way, man. I'm not too stoked about professional wrestling tonight, from what I saw. Ant, how about you? What you got on this match?
I'm going to say for the War Games match, and from what I'm hearing from with the triple threat match, with the 2 triple threat matches that Becky was in, she carries. She's the MVP of these matches to me, because she carries the matches. How is it that half of these people are all of these competitors are veterans pretty much, but Becky's got to carry them through the match.
I feel like she's got to carry the whole division now, though.
I don't think she carried Bliss tonight. I think Bliss showed us why she was champion, why she actually was carrying, let's not face it, the SmackDown brand a few years ago.
Well, Jay, you might be right, though, on the whole Alexa Bliss thing beating Bianca. I wouldn't be shocked by it because of how hard they went tonight to let you know that she was a loser for 4 years. And that whole scene we had a couple of weeks ago where Alexa was giving Bianca dirty looks on TV while she was holding the title. So there are little hints and jabs there that indicate that it could go that way. I don't think it is, but you never know. The Hunter Hearst Helmsley era can be unpredictable at times, but then there's episodes like tonight where things can be predictable. So sometimes it feels like the new regime. Not tonight, though. Tonight didn't feel like a Hunter Hearst Helmsley show. It felt like a fucking Road Dogg episode.
Behind the scenes. I'm telling you that right now. Pritchard's still behind the scenes. Vince, something's going on, because these past couple Raws have been shit.
No, last week's was fantastic. Last week was a great one in a row.
Okay, with the exception of last week, like, why are we getting? You know, we got an amazing Raw, and then what? We're gonna have a couple more shit Raws. Like, get Pritchard out of there.
There's no more ideas. That's why.
No, there's no more ideas, and that's why the Bloodline do what the Bloodline do, because they don't have anything else to do anything fucking better, man. In my opinion, I'm gonna end the show like this. I'm sick of the Bloodline. I'm sick of fucking Sami Zayn acting Uzi. I'm sick of the only reason I'm even interested in the Bloodline at all. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to be the one guy to say it, because everybody else is jumping on the fucking Uzi bandwagon. I didn't like the part on SmackDown where this whole Uzi shit even fucking started. I didn't laugh when he made Roman break character. I thought it was unprofessional, and it actually pissed me off. I'm not one of those guys that can just have a jolly good old time and watching other people, purposely try to break character and all this bullshit. That's how it happened. Everybody was like, oh, it's so organic. It's so good. Oh, I love it. I love it. No, I don't fucking love it. Fuck Roman Reigns. He's not the tribal chief. The Rock makes more money changing his fucking socks in one day than Roman Reigns makes wrestling all fucking year long. That makes him the tribal chief. That makes him the head of the table. And no matter what Roman Reigns does, that will not change that. So like I said, this whole head of the table, it's a fake gimmick. It's a fucking lie. You're not the head of the table. The Rock is the head of your table, my friend. You're all pissed at me now? You got,
No, I didn't know.
Say.
Sorry, no, I was gonna. First of all, I'm getting sick of this bloodline shit too. It's and the whole breaking character thing. Like, it was good when it was happening like sporadically, but like when it's just like the same bullshit every week. Sami Zayn trying to break the Usos and break Roman. It's like.
Listen, Sami Zayn deserves a lot better than this. He's a hell of a guy, but you can't convince me. He was working last year's WrestleMania with Johnny fucking Knoxville, okay? So he's going to go from working to Johnny Knoxville, and the next year he's going to fight Roman Reigns? Nah, that's what people think are going to happen. I have people that are telling me every day Sammy's going to win the Rumble, and he's going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And I'm telling these people,
I think it'd be a great story.
What kind of crack are you on? Maybe,
I would
but
like that story. I would love that story more than Cody right now.
No
I think
way.
there are too many bigger matches
would.
that could be had for that. I think by the end of WrestleMania, we'll have the end of the bloodline. I think the Usos are going to lose the tag titles to Sami and Kevin. I think that, you know, whoever Roman does wrestle at WrestleMania will take the titles off of him, and I see him kind of just
disappearing for a little bit.
That's what I think he wants to disappear for a little bit.
Roman at this point can be one of those special attraction wrestlers. He doesn't have to be there week in, week out.
Yeah.
Roman is probably going to wrestle both nights. I think it would be Cody for one and Rock for the other.
Listen, I'm
But
gonna
then
be honest.
do you see him losing 2 in a row?
He did it this past year. But I mean, because like you got to. Raw needs a title, not this United States title.
Man,
they need an actual WWE title, like a heavyweight title.
I've said it before. I'll say it again, man. In my opinion, what they should do if they want to get the most out of Roman Reigns and The Rock, you need someone that's going to be on the same level as a Roman Reigns. You need to put someone on the level of a Roman Reigns so that when Roman leaves, we have our guy. He's the guy. You go with it. How do you put Roman Reigns? It's a good use. Here's how. Rumble comes up. Rock, Cody are the last ones in the ring. They double eliminate each other. Now we have legitimate beef. We don't know who the number one contender is. The Rock and Cody go on to have a program, you know, talking shit for a couple of weeks until it's finally decided that there's going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the Undisputed Championship. You have the royal family. You have the bloodline. You have all the different factors of the Solos and the Usos and the Sammys of the world. Then they can go off and split up and have their championship match with the Usos. And the main event of WrestleMania Night 2 should be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns versus The Rock, because if you put all three guys in the same ring, you're automatically telling the world that Cody Rhodes is now on the same level as Roman and on the same level as The Rock. How do you create a bigger superstar? You let him beat superstars.
I have a big problem with what you just said. Respectfully. I'm going to respectfully disagree with that. Because if you were to do both nights, right? So how you could book it is this. Have Rock and Cody be the two winners. They don't have to wrestle each other or eliminate. First time, like, do something different with the Rumble. Have two different winners. Or keep the Elimination Chamber. Whoever, you know, have Cody win the Rumble, and then have Rock in the Elimination Chamber, and he wins that. He wins the Elimination Chamber. You have night 1 and you have night 2.
I don't know. I don't know why everybody's such a big fan. I don't know why everybody's such a big fan of Roman wrestling both nights of WrestleMania like it's fucking needed. It's not needed. Night 1, main event's going to be probably Stone Cold versus somebody.
Who else can you have the main event?
Stone Cold.
The women get main event.
Stone Cold.
He's not coming back.
What do you mean? I'm pretty sure he is. He had a hell of a payday last year. My man was taking bumps on cement. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, well, yeah, against who? Theory or against Ali? And he's gonna just
No,
bury Ali.
I think they're doing John Cena versus Stone Cold, icon versus icon.
I don't think that does anything. I would rather have what we talked about before, the Cena versus Theory, because to me, that's
I like that
Rock
more.
versus Roman. That's the the larger than life. They're WWE guys, but they're not WWE guys. They're mainstream guys, and they can help build these next generation guys. To me, the Roman is the next John Cena, the next Rock. Like, he's gonna finish up in WWE and he's gonna go to Hollywood. That's what I think is gonna happen. So at this point, it's like, okay, who's gonna be the next Roman Reigns? Who's the next in line? Who's the next guy that's gonna move the needle?
Probably going to be Cody. Unless The Rock beats Roman, becomes your Universal Champion, Roman goes off, Rock's the champ, and then Cody goes on to beat The Rock for the title. Maybe they're thinking that. I don't know. I have no idea.
I want them to split the titles. I need two separate champions, and I'm hoping that even if this night one, night two thing happens, we get two separate titles.
I don't even want two separate titles, dude. I want one fucking title. There should be one world championship title. So this way we stop this brand split shit. It doesn't mean as much when there's two fucking champions. Of course you love the brand split because you're half my fucking age. But you don't realize when you do the brand split, your fucking storyline's up. Because there's no... it doesn't sync from one show to another. We get some stories on Raw and then some stories on SmackDown. There's no continuation of what happened on A happening on B and then waiting and hyping it up to continue the circle. It's terrible. It's not good storytelling, the brand split, unfortunately.
Because here's the problem. You're only having the bloodline go there, here and there. First of all. Second of all, I agree with you. There should not be a brand split anymore. But you got to realize, though, too, if Triple H does that, Triple H is not going to show all his cards now. The end of the year's coming. Watch when Royal Rumble season is coming up. That guy is going to, I feel like he's going to start throwing some shit out there.
Well, here's what I see, bro, in the future. I see Cody Rhodes holding up the titles at the end of WrestleMania, and on Monday night, we get a new... American Nightmare, Winged Eagle, WWF World Heavyweight Championship, and that's it. He's the champ. Fuck everybody else.
Do you think that they're gonna do to Cody Cody's gonna do something to that title the same way MJF did to the AEW?
No, I think he wants that Winged Eagle Classic back with his own little spin on it. Maybe with a white strap, whatever, but a winged fucking eagle. My man wants an eagle on his fucking title. He's sick of this big W. He thinks it's shit. I think it's shit. It's been shit for a long time. It literally looks like a title that some fucking moron came up with and showed Vince and said, oh yeah, it looks great. No, Vince is senile when he approved that fucking title. When he approved that title to be fucking published, that's the day I knew Vince McMahon was done. Mentally, that was it. His taste is gone. The first one actually said champion on it, right? The first one was the Rock had that one, right? Did they make that specifically for the Rock?
I think so. I like the blue one though, because wasn't it blue at a point with the eagle on it?
They had an Attitude Era that was a blue one that Stone Cold had when they first gave him the title the night after WrestleMania. Stone Cold at WrestleMania 14 held up the winged eagle, right? The same one that Undertaker had, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Yokozuna. And the next night on Raw, they introduced the Attitude Era belt, and it was with blue leather. Beautiful belt.
That back. I think they should bring that back.
They have to bring back the Winged Eagle because they want that nostalgia, bro. AEW's out there. We have the whole thing now. WWE versus AEW. You bring back that Winged Eagle. And if you're going to do two titles, then you have the Winged Eagle and you bring back the World Championship title. You bring back the WCW title for Friday night. That's the way it should be. If you want to have... It doesn't necessarily have to be a brand split, but if you want to have two world champions, which it sounds like Lewis does... That's how you do it, bro. And that's how you bring back a lot of fans.
I think if you're gonna, and it goes the same for the tag titles. If Sammy and Kevin win it, are they having both or are they having one? If they're gonna have both, and because I hear rumors that they're gonna have this black strap title, if you're gonna unify them and make it one thing, then sure, I'm fine with them unifying the world titles. I just want everything to be consistent. The women's division, the tag division, the heavyweight division.
I don't think you have enough tag teams anymore to have 2 titles. You know what I mean? If you really think about it,
Probably not.
you just don't. And same thing with the women's tag teams. You know, what women's tag teams? Right now we have women's tag team champions, but there are being no women tag teams being promoted on Raw. Did you see a hint of any women tag team tonight?
Never came back.
You know what I mean? So what's the point of having 2 champions for a tag team division when you don't even have more than 6 or 7? Not even. It's probably 6 teams. The same 6 teams. That's why I got sick of the whole tag team division between New Day and Usos. Every fucking pay-per-view was New Day versus Usos for like what felt like 18 years. Felt like an eternity.
They first of all, they need to scrap those titles. The women's tag team titles. They need to scrap those.
No, I can't. I wouldn't say scrap them because you have a lot of talent down in NXT. You got Toxic Attraction. You got the current champions Katana and Chance. You got that other girl Ferez. She has her tag team, and there's a lot of up and coming other talents. There's the women out there. You have the Raquel of the world. You have the Elias of the world. You have Natty. There's a lot of talented women in the fucking division. If they just stick the right people together, we don't need a lot of tag teams to make a thing. It's 7 good tag teams. That's all you need. But one title.
Okay, fair enough. But you have, I mean, there's a lot of women tag teams in NXT that aren't ready to come up yet. Toxic Attraction, I think they need to be coming up here.
They will.
Ready.
They will. After Mania. It's going to be after Mania. Mandy Rose ain't losing the title till after Mania. When she loses the title, they're all going to be coming up. For sure.
I mean, but like, get rid of the titles, come back with better ones, is what I'm saying.
Actually, the women's titles, I think, actually look nicer than the men's titles, if I have to be fucking honest with you. The women's titles actually look like real legit championship titles.
Come on. That company makes a shitload of money. They can make those titles look way nicer, too.
They can make anything look nicer. That's not the point. But for right now, they're not bad. They're better than the men's.
Yeah, but but those titles are buried. Because Vince McMahon...
Yeah, that's why we don't have to worry about the titles right now. First, worry about your division. Get the women tag team division going. Start introducing new women's tag teams, and then start having matches and storylines, and actually devote some time to women's wrestling. If you're gonna make titles, then you gotta make teams. You know, that's the biggest problem right now with that whole division. They don't have teams on the main roster.
But they should... Sorry, Lewis. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm all for, let's get this title off of Ronda, because honestly, it's not like anybody wants to see her as champion anyway. And I would like to see a tag title run of her and Shayna, you know?
I'm 100% okay with that.
You know, the badass, it's like, okay, Ronda, you've been Raw Women's Champion. You've been SmackDown Women's Champion. You want to be the best? Let's triple crown it. Let's go after the tag titles, and at least you could do it with one of your best friends. And it'll build up Shayna even more, because instead of her just being in random tag teams, she's with her friend. They have a past together. They have history together, and it makes sense.
And then they can break up and have a main event at WrestleMania. Like so.
Exactly. It could lead to something.
I'm with it. I wouldn't be a trash main event. That actually is something I'd be interested in because it's the most real matchup they have in the women's division. Those two women can actually fight and have a real fight and make it look believable. Pretty well, probably. I'm sure. I'm okay with that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But are we going to see that? I don't know. There's a lot going on with SmackDown and Shayna. Maybe we're going to get a matchup between them sooner than later, but I like your idea of making them tag team champions. But to do that, you got to get the title off Ronda, and who's going to do that first? That's the question. Maybe Charlotte Flair is what I'm thinking. I think Flair is coming back to SmackDown because Becky came back to Raw. That's just the way I see it.
But then it's another Charlotte Ronda match.
It is.
to me, it's the same core girls all wrestling each other, all getting the title from each other, and this is where I want to see the new run of women. Like when Bianca won the title last year, I'm like, thank God. Like it's something new. I wanted, you know, obviously Mandy Rose got to lose the title. Bring Mandy up. She's a lot more established now than before she went to NXT. Now you can tell she's dominant. She's a badass. After Mania, bring her up and bring up a couple more girls that you think could really make their name on Raw and SmackDown. Because at this point, it's Bayley, it's Becky, it's Ronda, it's Charlotte, but it's been them for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but the problem with Charlotte Flair is it's going to be like that for the next 5 years because she's Charlotte fucking Flair and she's building a legacy, and that's how they're looking at her. They're looking at her as the greatest female wrestler of all time. And the greatest female wrestler of all time, in order to maintain that, tag, she's got to do big things, have main events at Mania, this, that, the other. I do agree with you. Mandy Rose is going to get her time, but before she gets her shine, I think Mandy Rose needs to beat Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley needs to beat Charlotte Flair. So that's the progression I see. I see Charlotte taking the title off. At least this is what I would like to see. Charlotte takes the title off Ronda. Ronda, Shayna go off to become tag team champions of the world, dominate for the whole year, whatever. Rhea Ripley then beats Charlotte Flair for the title, and Mandy takes it off of Rhea down the road, maybe at Mania.
Love it. Love it. Great idea.
Yep.
I don't know. At least that's the SmackDown side.
That's exciting. Yeah, that's exciting.
I'm okay with something like that. And then, of course, Toxic Attraction can maybe be the ones that take the title off of Shayna and Ronda. And you set them up for their sick tag team run. And then that victory leads to Shayna and Ronda just fucking, beating the shit out of each other for a few months until they kill each other at Mania. And maybe a steel cage match or fight pit, whatever the fuck that shit is.
I would actually do an actual UFC fight. Fuck that.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind that.
Get Cormier back. He'll be pulling up his pants the entire match. It'll be great.
Is anybody excited to see Kurt Angle again on Friday night, celebrating his birthday on SmackDown? I wonder how much.
It's not going to progress the product.
I wonder how much longer they're going to keep using him, because I heard he's having a big problem remembering anything now. Apparently he's got some memory issues, which sucks to fucking hear, especially when you've had the life and career he's had. Who wants to forget that shit? And I also heard, actually speaking of that, did you guys hear that Chris Hemsworth, Thor, is actually, he has a possibility of ending up with Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that, man?
And that sucks for the MCU too. After everything that just happened, everyone thought Thor was gonna, after this movie, and they kept it going, and it's like, crap, what do we do with you now?
They're gonna have to make a movie quick and make it good, because it might be his last. I don't know. Fucking wild, man. Absolutely
Maybe the next
wild.
Avengers movie or something. Just throw him in there and be like, all right, it's your time.
By the way, real quick,
Another conversation.
Another reason to watch Cocaine Bear is I think it's Ray Liotta's last movie. I know he's in the movie. So, just another thing to throw out there on why you might want to watch Cocaine Bear. This has been Monday Night Raw, Raw Talk, Wrestling with Savage. Thank you, Lewis, for joining us. Hopefully you're going to be back here for Raw on a regular. If you want, you're more than welcome to join us for NXT tomorrow. Do you watch NXT?
I do.
Okay.
Tomorrow I got plans, unfortunately.
No,
but,
no worries.
It's one of those. I'll be popping in. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. Whenever you want, you got an open invite to NXT. It's just it's pretty much us three that cover NXT. Shout out to Gilch, who's a little under the weather. You didn't get to meet him tonight. You met him at the Bret Hart signing, though. My friend that was with me, the bald guy. I don't know if you remember him. But yeah, he usually comes on the show, but he's a little under the weather, so he couldn't make it. Another shout out to Thomas Babiak, who couldn't be here as well. He's usually our Dynamite guy. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Jay, for joining us. And, of course, thank you all for watching. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Twitter. Join the Discord, join the discussion, and listen to us anytime on Spotify. Everybody have a good night, and God bless, and we'll see you here tomorrow night for NXT Talk.
Listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live by the champ. Her last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. Why?
Because they are the best tag team in the world today! Woo!
George.
Wrestling with
George,
Savage.
I think George just tried his resume for Tony Khan. I don't know. Up for George, huh?
With Savage.
Of course.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
I'm trying to give these two W's